Jordan Shepard versus Kian Monaghan. You missed the walk-ons during the advert break. Kian, a teenager from Manchester, already out. So he thought, I'll have a bit of fun in my last appearance here in Aberdeen. And I'm going to walk out to God Save the Queen. Which would explain some of the reaction in the arena that is still ongoing.
I think that's why the crowd is singing Flower of Scotland to him. A very mixed reaction. Kian having some fun with it. He is out, as you say. He's played some decent pool this weekend, but just hasn't been able to put the finishing touches. Made mistakes at the wrong time. And that's cost him in his previous matches. It's been a while since we've seen Sheppy, though.
Yeah, I had a chat to him last night, actually. He said he didn't play at all well yesterday. There was one match where he just had a few seconds, didn't he, to try and salvage a win off the break. Had he got a golden break, and he seemed to pull back on it and play it kind of 60%. And I actually had a chat, said, you seem to pull out on that break. He said, I'd actually left my break cue in the dressing room. And I was playing with my normal cue. That's why it was. He'd forgotten his break cue.
Sounds about right for Sheppy.
Straight in, though.
Yeah, and he's under pressure. He was first to admit he didn't play his best yesterday. Obviously a man that's owned this event. But his group is really tight and interesting for second place. Clem Singleton's played all his matches. He's won 3, drawn 1. He sits top of the table with 7 points. But behind that, it's very tight. James Jack has played 3 on 4 points. Jordan Shepard played 2 on 2 points. John Roberts, he's played out with only 2 points, and Kian Monaghan, 1 draw from his 3 matches so far, and he is out. So it's between James Jack and Jordan Shepard. Makes this a big, big match.
The quarterfinal lineup. If you win the group, you'll get a runner-up from another group.
Big chance for Kian to get this opening frame.
Yeah, he's out, but he won't want to go home back to Manchester without having registered a victory. And certainly if he can beat Jordan Shepard and probably knock Jordan out, that's a big scalp. Wrong side of the yellow here, so work to do with the cue ball. He's just played it 1 cushion.
Be pleased with that.
Yeah, well played. Monaghan celebrates. And the youngster takes the first frame. 1-0 for Monaghan over Shepard. And now it's Swing Low, Sweet Chariot. I think he might have had a chat with the DJ in between sessions.
Well, he's definitely out there to have some fun with this crowd. I don't think Jordan Shepard's seen the funny side of it, though.
What else do you think we got? 3 Lions.
Yeah, we'll have a bit of that.
Jerusalem.
Every chance. He's going to have to win some more frames, though, to get those.
Enjoying himself, Kian. Pressure off. Oh, let's try to headbutt one of the balls into the pocket.
Yeah, he thought the white was straight into the middle pocket. It stays out. Sheppy very much got his game face on. Focus for this. He does not want to be knocked out of the group stages. He wants to get his hands on another Taom Shootout trophy. There's 5 of them already.
5 out of 7, and then to not reach the final session of the season in the grand finals, that would really hurt Jordan.
There's been 7 events in the Taom Shootout, and he's won 5. Liam Dunster's won the other 2, and Liam Dunster's already out. It'd be quite incredible if we lose both of the former champions before the knockout stages. There's a bit of an opening here for Kian. He wants to play the yellow off the red, just to open up that pocket for his other yellow. It's good news, bad news. He's opened up the pocket, but he's not landed on his next ball, and he's tied up another yellow. Hard to see how he can continue this visit from here. In fact, he may even be total snookered. He's asking the referee.
Yeah, asking the question of Donna Evans, who's having a look. Needs to get a move on.
Well, foul's been called, so he wasn't total snookered because he's hit. The reason it's a foul, he's come off 2 cushions before he hit the yellow and didn't hit another cushion after contact. I'm not sure which yellow he could see, but total snooker wasn't called. I think one of the big things for Jordan Shepard this year, he's still had the success with the Taom Shootout, but he's not had as much success away from it as he has done over the last few years. And I think that's down to his practice. He hasn't been putting in the hours that he normally does.
That's a great pot.
He's the sort of guy that needs, he puts in a lot of hours on the table. He'll say to you that if he hasn't played for a couple of days, he'll feel rusty. And if he's not putting the hours in that he once was, the confidence isn't going to be very high. That's not to say he can't win this event. If he can get himself through the group stages, he'll find some confidence. Tricky black along the cushion. It's all down to his free shot where he knocked the black to the bottom cushion rather than just into the bottom part of the table. But no problems. Jordan Shepard.
This one, all back-to-back this afternoon. Quarterfinals from 8 live on Freesports TV tonight. And we've got the real number 1 George Tierney on next against Dicko Alan Dixon in his first shootout. And he's fared well.
That's effectively a knockout match.
Yep.
The winner of that match will go through. Alan does have the draw.
Yeah, Dixon on 4 points, Tierney on 3. Dunster and Dennis gone. It's who can join Chris Melling, isn't it, out of that one?
Yeah, it certainly is. We thought for a while that Liam Dunster was still going to have a chance with his only match of the day, but it wasn't to be. The results went against him, and he is out. I'm not sure if Kian's landed on this red. His mannerisms would tell me that he hasn't, although he looks fine. Just about wobbled into the pocket. One more good pot. If he can just get hold of this white, they're sort of sitting there for him. There's no developing shots required. That's not ideal. I think he can just about snick the one into the middle. If he has to take the one to the corner, this is a tough positional shot. And he's going to face another tough positional shot.
Yeah, I can't believe how much he got into the white there. Oh, and he's missed the pot. Worried too much about position on the black, which he got in the end. And he would have been able to cue round the side of the yellow. But he's missed the red. 15-second shot clock, so that's why Jordan was bouncing around the table.
It's the one thing that Kian, obviously he's a fantastic talent, he really is. He's got so much confidence, so much belief, and he's a big shot maker. The one thing he needs to work on for him to really push on to the next level is study the top players in the game. Study what they do to make the game as easy as it is. And if he can do that, work on his patterns, there's no limitations on how far he can go with the game.
That worked out nicely. Well, again, he's just punched into that a little bit too much. Should have been pretty straight on the yellow, just to draw back for the black. Suddenly he's just had to check the cue ball. No problem at all. This for 2 in a row for 2-1.
Match left tonight for him, and it will be against James Jack, and that will be an effective knockout match. The winner of that match will go through.
Yeah, James Jack just poked his head round the door 10 minutes ago just to see what the score was in this one, hoping that Kian would do him a big favour. At the time he was doing. He was 1-0 up. We could yet have a story in this match.
Yeah, it's another really good opportunity for Kian. Hard to see how or where he could go wrong. These are sitting so nicely for him. All the yellows out the way as well.
When he's feeling good, he just strikes the ball so smoothly. It's like metronomic. It's a comparison I almost made earlier, but I caught myself because it sounded so ridiculous, having covered snooker for so many years. But I remember when Ding Junhui, who is an absolute superstar, came through as a 13, 14-year-old when I first watched him. Looks similar. Just the way when he's in the zone, you know he's not going to miss. There we go.
The old commentator's curse comes in there.
Yeah, it's going well, that, isn't it?
I can see what you're saying with the technique. It's quite compact, it's quite small, quite short, and yeah, very good through the ball. That's what makes that miss so surprising.
There you go, practice table setup, Jordan. Well, we see Kian normally he concedes here, doesn't he? Puts his cue on the table to try and speed things up. Be interesting to see whether he's just given up the ghost completely now he's out.
Yeah, it's an interesting one that. I feel like it shouldn't be allowed, But no, you don't see many of the other players using that, and Kian has worked it out, and actually that's a big advantage.
I have no problem with that. I remember he did it for the first time in his first event at Milton Keynes, and it caused a bit of controversy, but he's playing within the rules, and these are different format rules. And if you need the shot clock and match clock are so big, do it. I completely agree. 3-1 anyway, Jordan Shepard, one away from a victory that keeps his hopes alive. 5 minutes to find one more frame.
Yeah, just coming back to that rule, I think I agree with you. I mean, the rule will have been looked at, but if the rule is as it is, and Kian's found a way of using it, then I'm all for it. I'm just surprised that we haven't seen other players do the same thing.
And they must talk about it. There must have been a discussion. I don't believe he pulled that from somewhere and no one said anything.
Yeah, completely. Definitely been talked about.
Listen, at the end of the day, everyone's here to win. And if you need to find a frame or two and the clock's going to be running on an extra minute, 90 seconds in a frame you've already lost, why would you sit there?
Especially when your opponent's running the clock down using the full 15 seconds for every shot.
Exactly. No different to me than playing the shot on 1 second.
Yeah, no, you make a very good point.
It's a good debating point anyway, either way.
Just under 4 minutes left on the match clock, sorry. Jordan's hoping not to have to rely on the match clock. He wants to get this frame taken out on this visit and get to 4, get the match wrapped up.
Looking forward to Jordan Shepard, James Jack now.
Yeah, there's a couple of matches now that we've got coming up that are effectively knockout matches. Makes it all the more exciting.
Is it Fitzsimmons-Boyle, the other one?
Oh, we've got Fitzsimmons. We've got 3 then, because we've got George Tierney and Alan Dixon as well. It's effectively a knockout match.
So three knockout matches in the last 7 group stage matches. You'd take that.
John's not landed on the black as he wanted to. Can still cut this back, but he's overcut it. That's a good snooker from Kian Monaghan. This is a tough black to hit, guarded by a wall of yellows. A little bit unfortunate with that developing shot. If the one he was nearest to was still on, it would have been a really easy routine run to the finish line in this frame for Kian. And now it should be all the same. That's an excellent shot to develop that yellow.
Oh dear. Oh dear. Well, what a way to bow out. I think he played the cannon, didn't he? Missed everything. Came through, knocked the black in. 4-1 Shepard. Monaghan was already out. Shepard needed that, and that's why it meant so much to him. He stays alive. Big game next. Alan Dixon, George Tierney after the break. Poised to get underway, Alan Dixon versus the real number 1, George Tierney, live here from the Lemon Tree in Aberdeen. Players are ready, and so are we.
Yeah, really interesting matchup. Probably not the matchup we thought for the qualifying spot. Chris Melling and Liam Dunster, the big standout players in this group.